So good morning, everyone. It's so good to see you. So I'm Kathy Merchant, the interfaith leader of this wonderful community, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you, especially Rachel Jones and Dorley Harrison, assistant interfaith leaders, and Kaya Younger, our managing director. And so before we get started, I just want to acknowledge that we're meeting on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the First Nations, and in many cases, Native American peoples. So those of us here in Vancouver on the land of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish nations. But I know some of you are joining us online on the land of other nations, your own homes. So please feel free to write whatever nation lands you are in the chat. And always let's remember our connection to our siblings in these nations. And let's pray for the day in which we might all be together in right relationship. So welcome to Living Interfaith. Know that the whole of you is welcome. You're not asked to leave who you are in your own homes. Instead, please bring who you are in with you. But what you are asked to remember is that everyone around you has brought who they are in with them as well. And all of goodwill are welcome. And now, when he's ready, Bruce has a song for us.
Come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of living. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of living. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Bruce. So I have a few announcements. The first announcement is that today, just after this service, we're going to have our annual community meeting. So anyone who'd like is welcome to join us for that meeting. We're going to talk about some of our successes and some of the projects we've done over the past year, and also our plans for the new year. And if anyone has any ideas for things they'd like us to do or try in the new year, please join us for that meeting so we can kind of synthesize all the ideas and plan going into the year ahead. And it'll just be in the same session. It just won't be recorded. So you're welcome to join for that if you'd like. And if you're on the council, please join for that because we need you. This coming Wednesday, our friends Elizabeth and Stephen Tanner, who are often with us, they're organizing a Bread Not Bombs vigil for Palestine. So it's going to take place on Wednesday, June 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 3077 Granville Street, which is just outside the local MP Talib Nur Mohammed's office. So they'll have candles and chairs, and we'll be setting up there all day, playing peace songs, and sharing poems from the late Palestinian poet Rifat al-Harir's book, If I Must Die. So all are welcome to join them. And if you want to join, please contact Samir, who's here in this group, because he's going to be with them part of that day. And then Rabbi Laura Duhan Kaplan, Reverend Elder John Snow, and Dr. Shelley Luce are leading a weekly program right now entitled Song of the Land, Ancient Jewish Wisdom for Our Times. So they're meeting every Thursday this month from 4 to 5 p.m. on Zoom to share Jewish and Stony Nakota teachings about the sacred ancestral importance of 5 beings: the raven, the rivers, the rains, the bear, and the forest. Their last session will be this Thursday, and then they'll be meeting in person on Sunday, June 20th in Stanley Park for a final in-person session together. So this is open to everyone who's interested. And to sign up, just contact Rabbi Laura to get the information. and email her at this. I'm going to put her email address for this in the chat. So it sounds very interesting. And then Rachel and Dorley are assistant interfaith leaders, and they've started a new initiative that it meets at the same time on Saturdays when our services aren't taking place. So our services are always on the first and third Saturdays of the month at 10 o'clock, but instead on the second and fourth, so the ones in between when we're meeting, they're leading something called the Circle of Sanctuary. So this is a time for contemplation, discussion, and connecting more with one another in spiritual reflection. The sessions use the same Zoom link that we're using right now, so it's very easy to log in, and they are not recorded. And I don't know if either of you want to say anything about those right now. You'd be welcome to if you'd like.
I could just mention, yeah, they've been very nourishing for those who participated. I'm sure you could speak up too, but I just want to encourage anybody to join us who would like additional opportunity to just sink into themes that we've emerged. But also we have quite a long 20-minute contemplation time, which is just so lovely to have that time set aside in the week to just be present to self and spirit and see what comes, and then using that to kind of lead into discussion. They've been so nourishing. I highly recommend joining us if you have a chance on the second and fourth Saturdays.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. And so that's it for my announcements. Does anybody else have an announcement of anything they'd like to share that's coming up within the next couple weeks? All right. Well, if not, let's come into silence and we'll get ready for our opening prayer. And so this morning, this is actually an opening poem. This is from Joy Harjo from the Muskogee Nation. It's called Remember. Remember the sky that you were born under. Know each of the stars' stories. Remember the new moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away to night. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You were evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life, who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them, listen to them. They are alive poems. Remember the wind. Remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember you are all people, and all people are you. Remember you are this universe, and this universe is you. Remember all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember language comes from this. Remember the dance language is, that life is. Remember.
And now I have our candle lighting prayer this morning. This is from Richard Wagamis, who's an Ojibwe from the Wabaseemoong First Nation in Northwestern Ontario. Time is an ocean, present and eternal. We are adrift on that ocean of possibility, you and I, and the miracle is that we find each other at all. Maybe it's age that keeps me scanning the horizon, looking for you, waving, bobbing in that sustaining current, because I want to hold eternal moments closer now. We move through time and space separately, and the mystery of our meeting is time's gift to us. Swim with me now. We have no other chance.
Beautiful. Thank you. And now, please feel free to unmute yourselves. Let's offer one another a sign of peace. So peace, everyone, during this morning that needs so much peace.
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 Peace, friends. Aloha pa. Good to be with you.
Peace. Salam alaikum.
Peace. Thank you.
Peace, everyone.
Peace and comfort.
Thank you. And when you're ready, Bruce, you have another song for us.
When Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, ho, 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 hail, hail, ya, ya, ya. When Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, ho, 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 hail, hail, ya, ya, ya. When Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, ho, 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 hail, hail, ya, ya, ya. When Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, when Nehiyaw, ho, 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 hail, hail, ya, ya, ya.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Bruce. And now if you'll join me in our joint affirmation. We come together in peace. We sing together in joy and with love. We worship together in one house, a house with names beyond number. Our paths are many, our beliefs are as trees, as leaves, and the tree that we cleave to is nourished by the light of compassion, justice, and mutual respect. May our lives, our beliefs, and our actions help to bring about the world of love we all seek. And let it begin here. And just wanted to share this poem was actually written by my mentor, Reverend Stephen Greenbaum. Many of you have met Stephen. He used to join us before his health made it impossible for him to. And I love this. This is kind of our shared prayer together and kind of the essence of what we hope for in this community. And periodically I share it with folks from other faith traditions. And they always say, oh, that's so beautiful. Which tradition is that from? I'm like, well, we hope all of them. So I hope you appreciate it and feel free to use it if you ever are in a situation where you feel like it speaks to you or would be helpful. And now let's take just a few minutes. So usually what we do is we do a little meditation together, grounding meditation, and then we take some time to pray. So feel free to assume a posture that works for you. So depending on where you're sitting, you can make sure you kind of stretch out your neck and shoulders. You can sit up a little bit, take some of the pressure off your back. If it's appropriate, you can put your feet flat on the floor, stretch them out in front of you. Just whatever posture feels comfortable to you right now. Make sure you're taking care of your body. Our poor bodies, so common that we're living in our heads and we're not paying enough attention to the body that's carrying us around. So be kind to yourself this morning. Let's take a few deep breaths. Fill up your lungs. Feel the breath go into your chest and down into your belly. Let it nourish you. Let it uplift you. Whatever's going on in your life or in your spirit right now, trust that this breath is all you need in this moment. You can take in whatever you need to feel loved and comforted and sustained. And as you take in this breath, know that that's what all of us around here are doing as well. Even when we feel disconnected from the earth and our bodies and one another, we're always so connected, standing on the same ground, using the same water, breathing in the same air. And together with the plants and animals, we all sustain one another, nourish one another, and are just little parts of the whole web of life. So feel your part in that web this morning. And know that you are important and you are loved. And now feel free to take some time to pray. You can pray for any people, causes, or places, or beings that are on your hearts this morning. Pray in whatever way speaks to you. We'll take 2 or 3 minutes now to pray together. Come back into the circle. And when he's ready, Bruce has another song for us.
Way, 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 way. 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 Way, 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 way.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. So now I usually say that if we met in person, I'd pass around a basket, but we are far too technological for that these days. We don't even have, I think I gave away the basket we used to have back when we met in person. So instead, we have a Zephy page because we are up and running. And so our fantastic treasurer, Justin, had set us up with Zephy. So folks donate there to help support the community and support myself and our managing director and our fantastic musicians and the speakers who come and share with us. And yes, so thank you for all that you do, all that you bring to this community to help support us, whether that is financial or through your volunteering or sharing of your gifts and talents and joys. So thank you. And when he's ready, Bruce has a song for us.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Bruce. And now it is my great pleasure to turn it over to my friend, Reverend Murray Pruden. He is Nehiyaw Cree First Nations from Goodfish Lake Nation, Alberta, and he lives in Vancouver now. He's worked as a public servant, a union activist, and most recently as the National Executive Minister for Indigenous Ministries and Justice with the United Church of Canada. He's involved with a great many amazing things and is just a delightful human. So Murray, when you're ready, over to you.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. Happy to be here and Dance, how are you? Hopefully everything is great for you. And yes, happy National Indigenous Day. Um, when I almost feel like, go out and hug your local Indigenous person, Wouldn't that be crazy though if you went out and did that and uh we could start a trend. It's hey, I'm okay with hugs. I'm not too sure about other people, but that would be so funny if that would happen. Oh yes, that humor of life is a part of being Indigenous, and we're just full of life in this time. And the importance of National Indigenous Day is because like we are around the solstice time right now, summer solstice. It's summer now, and I've heard too that yes, it's raining in certain areas. It's raining here in Vancouver definitely, and wet. I feel like it's April May weather, not June weather. um, but we still welcome the rain because the rain and the weather, we need the moisture, we need the waters in order to live, in order for our plant lives to keep giving us the life sustenance that we are. Um, yeah, summer solstice, and that's part of the reason why National Indigenous Day is on this date, because of the solstice coming around this time period, and Indigenous peoples from across Canada and around Turtle Island honor this day in ceremony and in different ways, in honoring the change of the season, and that's what we are in. We're in a change of a season, and it's just delightful. For me, I've always remember the story of grandmother Robin, and I call her grandmother Robin because I also feel that she's my grandmother, in spirit. And every time around coming up to the summer, you hear the robin sing her song. and and we take it as as one of our Cree words. And the song she's singing is Nipin, Nipin. You'll hear the robin sing Nipin, Nipin. And we take that as one of our words. And for the Cree, that's our word for summer. Nipin. It's summer. And we take it from the robin singing because the robin tells us when summer's coming. And for me, I've always heard the robin sing. I hear it in a distance in the early, in the mid-spring. And for me, that tells me summer's coming. Summer's on its way. And it just the spirit, I guess that's within me. I always hear it getting closer and closer. And then when I was in Calgary last week, I heard it when we were doing a circle prayer at a people's forum, and I heard the robin sing, and the robin was in the tree next to me, and I heard it strong. It's like, oh, summer is here. Summer is here. So for me, hearing the robin sing um is very important because that's uh how the earth, how she talks to us is, and how she brings spirit into our lives, and how we take her teachings and learn of ourselves and of this world that we live in. We're in unison with this world, and that's for me is a very important thing, as a Cree person, as Cree, as Neo. um that's what I want to talk about, is just talking about National Indigenous Day being important, uh, because we talk about our relations, we talk about who we are, where we come from. It's really important that we talk to, and we always express to one another where we come from. Many Indigenous people, when you visit, they will ask, "Where are you from? Where, who are you related to?" And then you introduce yourself. I'm Murray Pruden. I'm the son of Henry and Evelyn Pruden, grandson of Charlie and Betsy Pruden, grandson of Douglas and Florence Steinhauer. And then people will get to know you, and they also will think of those names. Oh, I know your grandmother. We used to, or oh, we're or and sometimes it comes like we're related. So you just find out those connections, and actually how small the world really is, and how our relations really mean to each other in kinship. And that's very important in kinship, because we have responsibilities in kinship. Also, when we talk about who we are, like I'm uncle to my nephew, to my sister's son. In particular, I'm responsible to raise him. It's my responsibility in our kinship that I teach him our ways. I teach him how to be a person, to live up to who he is as being Nehiyaw, being Cree. So it's all those relations has responsibilities, just as we have responsibilities to creation. We're responsible to creation. We're responsible to be caregivers. We're responsible to speak up for the purposes of life itself, of the birds, of the land animals, of the fish, of the insects, of the plant life, of the waters, of all the elements that surround us. We're responsible caregivers. It's not a privilege, it's a responsibility. Having rights and freedoms, that just reminds me of another story of an elder in the southern states, who was very upset because the United States government, several years ago, tore down a traditional sacred site, because they were trying to put in some infrastructure, possibly some pipelines. And it made him sad, because he said, this is not right. I keep hearing of people, of Americans, talking about their constitutional civil rights and liberties. But it's not a right, it's a responsibility. You're responsible to uphold and care for the land and the people around you. your brothers and sisters and all your kinship and all the relations that are around you. And that's deep, because and he's not just talking about people to people, nation to nation. He's talking about creation as well. So we as humans, as a human race, we're responsible for supporting each other and upholding those things. Um, I'll talk a little bit. I now work for KAIROS. I just recently just celebrated my 2 months with KAIROS. So I'm recently new with KAIROS Canada. And KAIROS Canada is an ecumenical partnership amongst different Christian denominations and welcomed organizations. They've been around just for over 20 years, getting close to 25, and they started in the 1990s with a coalition of ecumenical partners, indigenous groups, and such to come together to put together a voice for justice, for individual justice, for people's justice, for land justice, for justice, for equity, for women, for immigrants. The list goes on, and you might know KAIROS Canada because of the KBE, which is the KAIROS blanket exercise, and that's part of the the work that I oversee now. I'm the director of Indigenous programs. It's a new position within KAIROS, and the organization felt really granted that it needs to be led by someone who's Indigenous, somebody who's Indigenous, because it wouldn't make sense if we didn't have that. And so I was hired by the organization. I've known the organization for 6 years and worked with them on their steering committee for 5 years, and so I know KAIROS, and so part of that helped me influence to be a part of this position and work with the KAIROS blanket exercise team, and now our newly appointed Indigenous Rights Coordinator, and work with our Indigenous Rights Committee, and so on. And we're just flourishing now. We're just growing. We haven't had our Indigenous Rights Coordinator for 3 years, and we're changing and uplifting our programs. But the first mandate that I've made for our Indigenous programs is we need to build relations. That's our first step. If we're not building right relations within amongst the organization and amongst our Indigenous communities and all our supporters, then why are we doing this? We're not listening to each other then. We're not really supporting each other then. And I've also placed the mandate that we want to expand that on a global perspective too. So we want to build the Indigenous global network as well, and work with them. I do know that we work with certain global aspects and such, but I want us to focus on Indigenous communities, to hear their voices, to listen with them, to to feast with them or break bread with them, to first find and build that relationship. If you don't build that relationship, then you're not really listening. You're not really using the mind and the heart and the spirit together to communicate with one another in a good way. So it's always good to build the relationship, because of that, the next thing that comes is trust. You have the trust. You can carry on in conversation. You can share more. People break down their shield and break away from fear, because that's what kind of divides us, is this idea of fear. We if once we listen and talk and share and engage and exchange in whatever way, whether it be through ceremony, through feasting, through coffee, um, that's the important step. And I usually find in most Western society, in a lot of Western organizations, they miss that and they skip it. And sometimes that breaks down discussions or negotiations, or um, just a part of human nature, an act of human nature that sometimes is missed. And I feel that that's what I would like to see happen in this world, for one thing. And this is why I enjoy working with KAIROS too, is I'm surrounded by like-minded people and people who want to benefit and work on that and strive for that for all mankind, for all humankind, and that's what we we should be living in. It's yes, we come from different nations, but as I've heard earlier in this service, we all come from the same earth. We come from the same dirt. We were all built a little bit differently by Creator, but we all live here. We all breathe the same air. We drink the same waters. We live on the same lands. And then from there we exchange stories. And this is something that I believe which makes one indigenous as well in this world word indigenous. But also I say being Nehiyaw is that we share. We're taught to share. We're taught to forgive early rather than hold on to the hatred, because if you hold on to it not only do you suffer, but others suffer with you. And we want to live in a good way. We don't want to suffer. The more you hang on to things, the more it hurts, and the longer it is to heal. And sometimes we don't have an opportunity to do that, as many Indigenous people across Canada have endured so much suffering. Um, I don't really have to remind people, but residential schools, 60 scoop, intergenerational trauma, loss of languages, the list goes on. But the thing is, one teaching my grandparents always taught me is don't hold on to that. Don't hold on to that hate. You need to carry on. Live a good life. Live as best you can. Um, you know, don't think badly of others because you really don't know what they're going through themselves. There's a lot of stories that that they're really inclined to that. But my grandparents always taught me about life itself in that way, and using good life, good medicines, good mindfulness, and prayer. Prayer is very important, and I've just love that we've shared so much in prayer here and meditation, and for this is great ceremony. This is great ceremony, and it's done in a loving and peaceful and sharing and gifted way by all of you. And I really want to express that you all here are very indigenous, because I just feel that just the way that you are and the way you come together as community, because that's the one thing that it makes one very indigenous, very Nehiyaw, is that we don't think just of ourselves, we think of others, we think of family, we think of community, and we come together in times of joy and celebration, but also in times of need and sorrow and grieving. We always come together and we support each other. We don't care if we shut down business for the day, or to go and mourn with our relatives or with our friends. Business shuts down because we're paying respect for life itself. We're paying respect for the loving memories of those around us. So that's community, and I just feel that with all of you, and how you come together and share your thoughts, your joys and your sorrows together. And that's really important, because uh that's what creator that's what creator wants us to do, is to keep sharing our mindfulness in our hearts. I want to share one quick story, that is I want to take it as a reflection for you all, to leave you with this reflection before I give you a prayer. My dad has always told me stories when I was growing up about when he was younger, and how he used to live in the bush with our family, and he would always, he was always the adventurous type in the family, I guess, and he'd always just go out and explore the bush, and he always would just love it, because for him that was, why it's life itself. It's great. There's no worries. I'm able to have some time out in nature. And he would go to the creek. There was always a creek nearby where my grandparents had farmed, and he would go to the creek, and he'd always say, never once would I have to take a second guess and pick up the water and be able to drink it freely, just to drink it, the fresh water, and drink it if I was thirsty, and never really think about it having any issues or making me sick. That's how clean the water was for him when he's young and able to go out and just to be free. He's 79 years old now, so that you think about him being a kid, like that, how long ago that was. But when he tells me that story, I'm just in awe, and I was just in wonder about all that, because growing up, we never really had that idea of clean and fresh water, that things always had to be filtered, or we had to buy buy bottled water, or jugs of water, or get it from our grandparents' place, because our water was not good for drinking and such, and all that. But to think that just from generation to generation, how much change this world has gone through, how much change our footprint has made on this world, as the as the ones being responsible for it, and that I will never be able to have the same story as my dad has, for me growing up, as he has for himself growing up, and being able to taste that fresh creek water back home. Um, so that's what I've had to live with, and hear the stories of that. It makes me a little envious, but because I would like to have experienced those type of uh, engagements with Mother Earth, and to be able to say, I can drink your water without worries. But today is a different story. So just a little reflection, and this is why I really, really take forward that and I know this has been, I've heard it this last week at the People's Forum, the plight for water, water salvation, and our water keepers, our women, our women warriors need to keep fighting up, and I pray for them as well, because it's very important that the water is a source of life for all of us, and that it's continuous. So I just wanted to leave you with that reflection, and just to know that this is, I'm sharing some story with you, of Indigenous, National Indigenous Day, Indigenous Peoples Month, and that we all have stories to share. And this is what, for me, what this month really means, is that we have this opportunity to reflect, to share, um, but then give ourselves some idea of hope, because I always think that we have generations ahead of us that need to have some hope in their lives for who they are, not what they are, but who they are as a good person, as loving creatures of this world. I want to leave you with this prayer, and I do hope you enjoy this short but loving and caring prayer, and it's a Cree prayer. No datiwen kisimena to wichianan mina kanawimianan anots ka kisisak ianan kita wasimisak napiwak igwa napisisak eskuyak igwa iwisisak igwa kahkiao korakak asiniwakuta askik kita tamianan. Hi hi. Our Father, the Creator, help us and protect us today and all day. We are your children, all boys and men, all girls and women, and all others. For all nations, all people here, all the world, we are thankful. Thank you. and thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Murray. Thank you for that. When he's ready, Bruce has one more song for us, and I'll share a closing prayer, and then we'll stop the recording. And Murray, do you want to stay for just a little bit if anyone has any questions or any comments or anything? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So when you're ready, over to you, Bruce.
I know that every time I pray, it shines a light along the way. It makes the night as bright as day. And everywhere I go is home. And every time I call the name, it brings me joy where there was pain. I know my life's not lived in vain. I'm not alone. Sometimes when I'm traveling down this long, wondrous road, I find that there are times I seem to carry quite a load. When I feel alone and so far from home, and I fear that I will fall, I stop because I know just who to call. I know that every time I pray, it shines a light along the way. It makes the night as bright as day. And everywhere I go is home. And every time I call the name, it brings me joy where there was pain. I know my life's not lived in vain. I'm not alone. When the day grows darker with the coming of the night, my strength begins to fail and I grow weary of the fight. When I'm losing hope and can't seem to cope, and I fear I won't get through, I stop because I know just what to do. I know that every time I pray, it shines a light along the way. It makes the night as bright as day. And everywhere I go is home. And every time I call the name, it brings me joy where there was pain. I know my life's not lived in vain. I'm not alone. I know my life's not lived in vain. I'm not alone. I know my life's not lived in vain. I'm not alone.
Fabulous. It was a great song. Thank you so much, Bruce. It was wonderful. And friends, as we go into the week ahead, go knowing that you're a part of this community, that who you belong to, your ancestors are still with you, that we're with you. And please go trying to build up better life for all of us, with the earth, with all beings, and with one another, so we can live together in right relationship.